手术。大家都知道，我曾经救活了2名深昏迷的病人，一名是2004年，这个在 Brighton， 一名呢是在伦敦。我用的呢都是安宫牛丸丸，但是他们深昏迷在医院里面都有10天到2个礼拜，用尽了这个西医的办法，但是呢最后呢昏迷不能够醒过来，其他的后遗症，你比如说这个癫痫、抽筋，你不能停止，所以西医已经做到了极点，而且告诉他的家属，说是你可以准备后事。在这样的情况之下，病人的家属把我叫去，说你有什么办法可以那个？这个呢就是我这个在2004年，就是有那个英文。因为我知道接触过的，或者说有4例，有3例是成功的，是吧？这个是一个女孩子，23岁，在伦敦艺术学院是昆明人，但是她的母亲从这个昆明赶来，这个让我到医院里去救她，但是这个女孩子啊，这个脸呢，肿得像个脸盆那么大，紫黑的，我觉得。大家都看了都觉得肯定是没办法，而且呢一会儿抽筋，一会儿抽筋。但是我的诊断呢认为是高烧病毒性感冒引起的这个脑部损伤引起的。这个就是那天我去看的这个病人。This patient deep coma in the hospital. They call me to save her. So that's her father took the picture. 那我怎么办呢？我说不好讲事嘛，但是我把心里怎么想的，用中药试试看，就用的安宫牛丸丸，叫他呢把它磨成汁，从那个鼻屎管里面呢这个针打进去。因为我不是医院里的医生，我不能做这个事情，所以呢只能够他妈妈自己做。这个妈妈呢也心急慌忙的，一打的这个药都喷出来了，喷到墙上都是。后来她那个老公个子很高，挡住，她赶快把墙擦干净，然后再打。打进去之后，那天是晚上大概9点多打完了，然后就发现呢，这个女儿眼睛能够自主的移动了。这是1个礼拜以后 ，After 1 week, I went to see in the hospital. That's her and her mother. Yeah, we take a picture together. So before the girl, you can see this so ugly, but lately she's so beautiful. Yeah. 另外一个呢是一个，他本人是个中医师，但是呢，因为垄断血管丸的问题呢被告，所以法庭开庭那天呢，这个妈妈这个医生呢，上海中医药大学毕业的，但是就心肌梗死了。这个that's a lady 64 years old because have some trouble in the court. Then because Chinese lady is scared very much in the court, so suddenly heart attack. Then went sent to the hospital in the Brighton. They give that treatment, so they saved her. So that if you don't want to have another stroke, heart attack, you can do operation for the heart. But we can't guarantee this operation, no problem. So you have to sign. They signed, the daughter and the son-in-law. Then did the operation. Unfortunately, rarely happened that the seeds come out, going to brain. So stroke. The brain became stroke and the half body kind of moving and going to deeper cup. And also that doctor talked to the daughter and the son-in-law, said that she must be going to die. maybe you prepare what you're going to do. So that time they called me. I helped they won that case in the court, and then they said, would you come to see my mother? So I went to the hospital to see, but I haven't got the pictures. That time I needed to prepare. But I use this Chinese herbal tablets to dissolve in the liquid, then go into stomach, and wake up this lady. After 3 years, she totally recovered. Of course, later treated by acupuncture. But第三例呢是去年，这个碰到一个人，中国人也是这个辽宁的，这个去参加 wedding fall down from the stairs, then coma, but the sent to the hospital diagnosis think that because drunk, really that is damage the brain and is going to second coma and never can wake up again. That's the second day they call me to see, because the bleeding here, I said that that's not in the bleeding in the brain, the out of brain. So I think best way is to take the blood out, then can reduce the pressure. But the hospital disagree. So I said that maybe that I can't help, but try, no help, really no help. That's the third one, food. 就是这个失败的原因，我认为是它的原发的那个因素没去除，出血没有终止，它的压迫，它这个脑中线啊，这个已经移位了，没有办法那个。不然的话呢，它如果先把血抽掉，这个脑子恢复了，可能按宫牛丸丸就能起作用。还有一个我们说成功的例子就是这个 that time in the London happened a train accident that a Chinese lady, she would come to see a friend get the master degree, but in North London that time the master degree lady died. That the friend sent to the Royal Hospital. Then Royal Hospital diagnosed that is brain death, and suggested to moving that organs to the transplant. Then that lady is from Taiwan. So the family, the parents coming to London, and they went to the Taiwan that battle, ask Taiwan that officer to help. So they don't let them to do what my daughter maybe still can be saved. Taiwan that officer said, oh, English medical level is very, very high. You have to trust them. They say that no way to save, just no way save. You prepared for coughing or something. Then the parents said, okay, your office not help. I'm going to mainland embassy to help. So in that embassy, they find that Shen Dalie, that position is sent to him. Shen Dalie said, oh, we have to try every possible to help. So they ask some brain doctor in here, Chinese, to check that person really brain death or not. They said no, because you have a little automatic breathing. So, but because here the law does not allow the Chinese doctor to do anything. So what you can do? Then discuss with embassy. When that chancellor said, we let you to Beijing to treat it. So they booked an airplane of the Air China, sent their family totally to the Beijing in the Friendship Hospital. Then same as what I used that Chinese medicine for that girl. He wake up So 3 very, very, very deep coma patients use 安宫牛丸丸 just wake up, just saved their life. Of course, that Chancellor did a very good job, then quickly sent to mainland that time. So that's what make me to think. That's what about the TCM research in the future. You have to get the information that success is effective at herbs or acupuncture, then you can think how to do the research. Otherwise, you just in the laboratory to do research, just this herbs, that acupuncture, two groups to compare or something. That's impossible, and you can't do this like this. I only can compare with they in the Wheaton Medical Hospital treated 2 weeks or 10 days, but useless. Then just use Chinese herb tablets. They wake up. That you can't use that RCTs to judge anything. But that's the inside they have some very important truths. We have a responsibility to discover it, not just say that oh they are just a sample. I don't think that's the right way. So this is about the ancient Chinese canon books record about this herbs what it can do. Inside I discuss some problem, some make me feel very surprised things, because that 2 patients, they call me, say that after that herb liquid into the stomach, only 20 minutes, they find something different change. I can't believe that Chinese herbal medicine can't so quickly, but that is true. Then I call back to the 2004, that family still in the Brighton. I said, oh, how about your mother that time? She said, yes, after the medicine go in stomach, only 15 minutes. Okay, so I think why this so quickly can have a effect. That's I think that about this herbs. Second part that I'm discussing about ME, because in England quite a lot ME. I can treat ME 95% success use herbs, but this herbs that not accounting to traditional theory for the diagnosis for the ME patient, because ME patient that come to you, the diagnosis maybe you say that is dampness, 湿重, or 中气不足, that is deficiency. But if you use herb medicine or acupuncture to treat, to reduce dampness or to nourish for the middle qi or something, they no work. But I use that is introducing about Wheaton diagnosis. The Chinese diagnosis could be everything for thymus. No way to find any organ problem or laboratory examination result negative. So the diagnosis is just according to hospital. But I treated quite a lot of ME patients to me. I changed the mind to treat it. Use everybody. Were surprised. I use very simple 银翘散 plus 板蓝根、大青叶 or some other say. Mainly is 清热解毒. After 1 week, the patient come back and say that, oh, I'm okay now, I do not feel tiredness. About 40 patients I did. Everybody can. So That one patient, the father, is working in the charity. Say that, oh, I try to find some money for your research. How much money need? I think the research is quite difficult because basic research in the clinic, at least to correct some patients to do, maybe 100,000 pounds. Then go to laboratory, maybe need 1 million. And say, oh, too much. What you can do? Or that charity foundation give money to China, that Olympic. I think that's just an excuse. But they maybe think it's simple. But the research, if you do, I think you can find some special mechanism. I thought in this case, because this ME, rarely they have suffer from the virus, maybe the flu, maybe the others. One patient, younger, they travel in the Great, then they were in the sea, then that some fish, jellyfish, bite her. Then after they come back to London, the girl started the ME. No way can treat it. Then come to me. I said, okay, I give you the herbs to treat it. So after 2 weeks, she said, okay, no problem. That's also some poison. Maybe the poison from the virus, maybe from other way. In my opinion, because the poison that the beginning of infection, that is tuberculosis virus. But after virus cured, that virus may be broken, became very small pieces. The pieces go into that receptor. That kidney cells or some cells, they have a receptor. If that go into the receptor, then the receptor covered, then the information can't come in. Just to because the nerve coming to muscle, for all the muscle to movement, they have to have information come to the receptor. But if that closed, you can't make muscle moving. So that I just give example to be like the lock. Lock you use the key to open, but because the hole of lock covered full that rubbish, your key can't go in, so can't open it. So my theory is use that herbs to clean that rubbish, make the rubbish out from the hole, then your key can go in. Then the key going, they quickly feel like a moving. That's not a deficiency. The energy is there, and make the pain, make the tiredness. But rarely, if the information can go in, okay, finished. The treatment is success. I have given this report before in other association conference. Later, somebody have been there listening my speech. He called me, said, "Wow, your result rarely work. I treat for other patients of ME. They also success." So this also make me to think for the research about Chinese medicine. I think we follow the traditional theory, but we not everything just use the traditional way to do. Because this ME is totally not the chronic disease caused deficiency or to like other problem, lose energy. This totally still the acute infection by the virus, but half treated, half have left the problem. So we have to use new idea, new way to think how to research about the Chinese medicine. That's what I want to say. There's other some I discussing about it, I just simply talk. So then my conclusion is the power of your life of PCM that's accounting to the clinical effective. And the research should be from basic on the clinical facts. And the research should not say, oh, only this cell is right, that cell is wrong. We have to think every possibility. I think that Angkong was a very good example to do research, and ME also good. So I still think because it's either ear, every doctor, good doctor, have to use your brain to think in a new way. This is also the book. I have a new book called History of Medicine in Chinese Culture. That's two volumes, about 2 million words in Chinese. The basic idea, really, I think, a good doctor, just you are very good brain to thinking about it. So I just simply talk about this. Thank you very much.